Hello, everybody, and welcome to Y Force Productions' first video. We're going to be doing D&D podcasts, among other things, running games. Me.png, you want to say hi? My name is iMain Corn, by the way. That's right, I'm a Corn main in the year 2023 now. Unironically. So we're going to be doing a little review of the current D&D 1 playtest. So for those of you who don't know, D&D 1 is basically like 6th edition. I am kind of mixed on it. The community seems to be a bit mixed. It's just kind of 5.5e at the same time. So, Druid and Paladin. So we're going to go over the newest one, Druid and Paladin, and read through what this says. Aiden, do you want to read a paragraph of this?
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Yeah, I gotta share my screen for that.
Please do. Should be good.
Hold on. I don't want my Discord stuff to be shown. Will it let me screen record? Share my screen. Yeah, it'll work. Okay, it doesn't really show any.
And you can edit out any dull parts.
Yeah. Okay. So, let me know if you can see it. So, this is the Unearthed Arcana for it, the player's handbook, which is going to be like basic rule sets. We're getting that with Druid and Paladin. So, let's read. This document is part of a series of Unearthed Arcana articles that present material designed for the next version of the player's handbook. The material here uses the rules in the 2014 Player's Handbook, except when we're noted. To play this material, yeah, it's talking about incorporating in your campaign stuff. That's not interesting. So, do you want to read what's new, Aiden? Huh?
You don't need that right now at all.
Yeah, so do you want to read what's new, Aiden?
Yeah, sure. Okay, what's new? Druid. The Druid class and Circle of the Moon subclass are ready for playtesting here. Paladin. The Paladin class and Oath of Devotion subclass are ready for playtesting here. Feats. Several revised feats appear here for your feedback. More feats coming in future articles. Spells. More spells are ready for playtesting with a focus on smite spells, Find Familiar, and Find Steep.
Alright.
The rules glossary has been updated again and supersedes the glossary in the previous Unearthed Arcana articles. In this document, and the underlined term in the body text appears in that glossary, which defines the game terms that have been clarified or redefined for this playtest, or that don't appear in the 2014 Player's Handbook. Learn more on YouTube.
Alright, that sounds good to me, PNG. So, this is playtest material. It's talking about this useless stuff. So, what's going to be in the handbook is going to be like revised subclasses, new species. They removed half-elves for some stupid reason. Had no more half-orcs.
Oh, that part doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, like half-orc and half-elf I sort of get because, like... But half-elves are definitely the most played D&D race. Like, the three most played ones are probably Goblin, half-elf, and Tiefling Warlocks.
I am excited for Goblin specifically.
Oh, yes. In a future game I'm going to DM, me.png, they are going to be playing a silly little Goblin boyo.
Don't tell the player. Don't tell our other players that you heard that though.
Yeah, we're talking to you, Battle Elf YT. We know you're watching this right now. Yeah, Battle Elf, we know you're watching this. He was gonna be in the video today. Oh yeah, subscribe to Battle Elf. By the way, good channel, good channel. Parts of a character class. Each character class contains.
Although for Battle Elf specifically, his character would already know, so yeah. I guess that's okay.
Yeah, a multiverse. So characters who have a level of class are exceptional. Most need have. Okay, why are they doing the multiverse stuff? Why did Marvel like popularize the multiverse idea?
Well, I mean, multiverse was already a part of D&D for a little bit anyway.
Yeah, I like to believe that I'll be honest, I like to believe that multiverse as a concept gained popular with that Family Guy episode.
Really?
It didn't actually, but I like to. It's my headcanon. Yeah. So primary ability.
Fair enough.
Yeah, primary ability. The primary ability of a character class is foundational for some class features. So when you create a character, that ability is a great place to put your highest scores. Similarly, whenever you gain the ability score improvement feat, consider increasing your primary ability. Finally, to use multi-classing rules, you must have a score of at least 13 the primary ability of all your classes. So multi-classing really hasn't changed. Nothing too drastic so far, I guess. Class group.
I'm sure we'll get to some drastic stuff eventually.
Yeah, so if you guys don't care about reading this little paragraph, it's just like what they have in common. So experts, aka martial classes, basically. Oh, wait, never mind. No, Bard is on this. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. So characteristics, polymaths who have the expertise feature and elements of our other classes. I don't think I'd classify Bard with Ranger and Rogue. Mages, Sorcerer, Liab, Warlock, Druid. Priests, Cleric, Paladin, Druid. Okay, that makes sense. And martial classes from Barbarian, Fighter, and Monk Warriors.
I can kind of see how
Artificer is also an expert. Okay, so we're definitely getting a new Ember.
That it's not popularized more. Artificers really.
Okay, I'm just saying we're getting a new Emberon book. Like, you can't tell me this isn't teasing one.
I really hope it is. I really like Emberon.
Listen,
I haven't played it myself personally, but I would love to someday.
Listen, I personally want a new Dark Sun, but we're never getting that. We're probably not getting another Spelljammer for a while. Spelljammer
is pretty new anyway.
I mean, yeah, it's always existed, but they didn't have ship-to-ship combat, which I found kind of dumb. Yeah. Well, I'll do a video about what went wrong with Spelljammer one day in a podcast. We could have Battle Elfin on that one.
I think I'll have some pretty decent opinions on that.
Okay, subclasses. Meet up PNG. Want to read this one?
I definitely can. All right. A character's class description is followed by a section dedicated to subclasses for that class. A subclass represents an area of specialization for a class, and the subclass grants special features at certain levels. When playtesting the new version of a class, subclass from an older source, such as the 2014 Player's Handbook or Conscious Cauldron of Everything. If the older subclass offers features at levels that are different from the subclass level in the class, follow the older subclass level's progression after the class that you gain the subclass. You might find an older subclass doesn't fully work with the feature in the playtest version of a class. If we publish a new version of the class, we will resolve that discrepancy.
Yeah, so I guess that works. So I said I think that works, what they're doing with subclasses. Like, I don't have a problem with that. 3 character highlights, it's just stuff like each class's 20th level feature has been moved to 18th, opening for epic boons. Oh yeah, this is a thing with DnD 1. They're really emphasizing feats. So my thing with feats is I personally like ability scores better. That's just me. I haven't really taken a lot of feats. Like, I know people love feats, and don't get me wrong, there are some pretty cool feats. I am a big fan
of the lucky feat, personally.
Yeah, but, I mean, I don't have a problem with that, personally. Next, Druid. Class group, Priest, and primary ability, Wisdom. Okay. I would personally do Intelligence, because, like, they gain maybe to get
their knowledge. Well, to be fair, they're like, spirits of the force and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's less hands-on and more spiritual.
Yeah. So, Druids belong to an ancient order called the Forces of Nature. Sounds like a bad Power Rangers ripoff, but with, like, vegans or something. No hate to any vegans, by the way. By the way, we're not getting demonetized on the first video.
Well, we can't even get monetized in the first video anyway.
Shh, don't ruin the illusion.
No, I would never. You can definitely get monetized in the first video.
Oh yeah, shout out to Oh yeah, I forgot. Shout out to ADHD&D, by the way. Just an excellent shit. Yeah, shout out to them. Zim, if you're watching this, look, I made it. I made a channel, Zim.
I'm
They're
sure they'll enjoy
they're
hearing
they're
that.
definitely watching this right now,
It
upset.
could be.
Like I don't even want to see her face right now. It's probably just either a look of disappointment or laughing at my stupidity.
I could definitely see them doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, harnessing the magic.
Yes. Thank you, Zim. I'm excited to start doing it.
Yeah. Anyway, harnessing the magic of animals, plants, the weather, and the four elements, druids can heal, transform themselves, and wield elemental destruction. That's stupid.
That's some fun wording right there.
Yeah. Relieving nature above all, individual druids gain their magic from a nature deity, from nature itself, or both. They typically unite with other druids in forming rites to mark the passage of seasons and other natural cycles. The ancient druidic traditions, sometimes called in the Old Faith, and contrasted to worships of gods in temples and shrines. Druids master primal magic, which is oriented towards nature and animals. In the power of tooth and claw of sun and moon, fire and storm. I do fire and water because or like
I think they just put storm
yeah,
for
or X and Y or black and white or red and blue. X and Y, sword and shield, scarlet and violet. There's a lot of opposites they can do.
True.
If anyone got the Pokemon reference, you get a shout out next video. Anyway, and some druids focus this practice even to the point where they feel more natural in animal form. Interesting. Okay, so that's a cool idea for a character concept. A druid who's like stuck in an animal form.
Or just doesn't want to change out of their wild shape.
Oh yeah, maybe this druid kind of went so insane in the woods, right? That they think they are like a bear or something.
It's like that one meme. I forget where I saw it, but it's just like that one meme where like there was a cat who looked like it was playing DnD, and and it was so funny that they just made him the druid.
You know what? You know what I just found odd? Why do we have so many cat species in D&D, but like no dog ones? We got Leonin and Tabaxi. Like you'd think by now there'd be at least some sort of wolf one.
You'd think, but I guess not. I don't know.
You know what real gamers?
I mean, to be fair, we are D&D. We play D&D. We like indoors like cats.
Yeah, it's valid. You know what real gamers want? Real gamers want a chicken playable race in D&D.
Are you teasing stuff for your game?
Oh yes, in my game I will do a homebrew review of my own stuff. I have a chicken playable race. They're going to be basically better Aarakocra. Not actually, but they're pretty cool.
Just instead of Aarakocra.
Anyway,
it's chicken.
The four elements that make up the world, air, earth, fire, and water, must remain in equilibrium. This sounds like Ninjago at this point. If one element were to gain power of the others, the world would be... Is this the plot of The Last Airbender? Hold up.
I mean, that is literally what the Fire Nation did.
Are they just copying The Last Airbender? I haven't even watched the show and I can tell they're copying it.
I've watched the show and that's almost verbatim.
Yeah, thus druids oppose cults of elemental evil and others who promote one element.
So they don't like Genasi's.
They're racist towards Genasi's.
They are from the Elemental Evil book, so I guess...
Damn, poor Genasi's.
I guess it depends on what character you're playing.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting.
Personally, I think Genasi's are fun little genie boys.
Hold on, what happens if you have a Genasi that's a druid? What happens if you have that?
Say that again?
What happens if you have a druid Genasi?
Well, I think that just goes against everything they stand for.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just joking. Play your druid however you want.
Yeah. Don't play how D&D... Playing how D&D tells you to play is like the worst you can play. Anyway,
Well, I think it really depends.
yeah, if you're a
on
new
how
player,
you.
then probably, but just don't go full Tiefling Warlock every game ever. You know?
Yeah.
Because know what I want to see? Like a party full of Tiefling Warlocks. That sounds like the worst best party ever.
That sounds. It'd be. Well, I mean, any party can be a party.
Even an
But, oh my
all-bard
gosh,
party.
that would be terrifying.
Even an
All
all-bard
of them are
party.
immune to fire, and all of them can use fire.
No, an all-Triton party, and it's under the sea or something.
That'd be an interesting story.
No,
actually,
even better. I just
Oh?
thought of a sick idea. An all-Lokata party.
Oh, that'd be terrible. Oh no.
Imagine,
Well,
right?
water.
Like, you'd be constantly... And it's in, like, a desert campaign.
We would die within minutes.
Honestly, that could be, like, the plot hook. Finding water.
To be fair, I believe they last maybe 10 minutes without water.
That's even better.
So I think that's a very short D&D campaign.
Oh, wait. In our current D&D game, Battle Elf is running. He mentioned there's Lokata. I had a bad idea. Battle Elf, if you're watching this, I want to know where the Lokata are located.
He will not tell us.
Yeah. Druids are...
I love that game, though. We
Yeah.
probably won't be talking about it on here.
Honestly, I'd love to do a D&D story time, because there's this one time where someone in our party got a nat 1 and a nat 20 on disadvantage. It was the greatest moment ever.
Oh, I remember that. I forget who did it, but oh my gosh, that was so funny.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, Druids are also concerned with the delicate ecological balance. So, Druids are environmentalists, basically. That sustains plant
Environmentalists
animals.
have flower power. Literally.
Power. Honestly, I like the Guardian of Nature they're going for. The elements, the Avatar The Last Airbender ripoff stuff, I don't know. I just like them to be just boyos who chill in the forest and hang out with, like, beavers or, like, ponies or deer or birds
Beavers,
or whatever.
are you revealing some more stuff already?
About what?
About your
beavers.
game.
Beavers didn't have anything good. Anyway, let's see what you get.
I almost name dropped your game.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm gonna let you have that glory.
Yeah. It's called Floodwood, by the way.
Oh my
I will
gosh!
make
I thought you were gonna make it. I just thought we were gonna make an entire video on it. Nope, guess not.
No, it's gonna start because I'm gonna be doing some one shots before then. Anyway,
I'm excited.
Druid stuff. Channel Nature, Druidic spellcasting. Alright, so pretty
Okay.
Nature's Aid, Druid subclass, feats.
By the looks of it, the spells are pretty much the same.
Yeah, like yeah, Druids get cantrip. Might of the Land, subclass feature, aquatic arm. Oh, this is what I have where I have a problem with it. Okay, everything looks fine, but this. Why is Tiny Critter at 11th level? Great. Okay, my thing with that is tiny critters can be very weak but very useful, and I feel like it makes sense as a low-level druid. You can only know like how to turn into a rat. Back to that person who actually got the nat 1 and the nat 20. The ongoing joke is their character, his main like druid form is a rat, and the rat is very good at dodging like enemies. Because she just rolls very well when she plays them. And right when this Unearthed Arcana came out, I texted her and I was like, hey, the rat form broke the game so much that they had to move it to 11th level. What do you think of this me.png? Aquatic form makes sense, but I think 6th level is way too high. I'd say 4th level, honestly. Hello? Me.png? You still there? Or critiquing the D&D 1 class. It's Wizards of the Coast. They don't want us to know the truth. Anyway,
Just like the pyramid.
yeah. So while you couldn't hear me, I was talking about Rat Panic.
No, I couldn't hear you.
Okay, so yeah, uh, allotted.
So could you not hear when I said, the thing about how I just randomly shouted that and they went with it?
Oh yeah, I don't think I could hear it. Yeah, but that's what happened. Anyway, so Druid.
I'm very happy they decided to go with it.
Yeah.
I think it was one of our best plans.
Yeah. Most of this is the same. A D8. Like, there's a lot of feats. I still am. I don't know how I feel about it.
Could you share your screen with me again? I can't see it.
Oh, yeah, sure. It'd be under. Okay, yeah. So channel nature. We're not gonna read the whole thing to bore you guys. Just kind of give you the basic rundown. Magic of nature infuses you and stuff like that. You start off with one such effect, wild shape. Okay, you get. Alright, it's just like wild shape.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one of the. Nature's Aid seems like a good idea. You can summon. Let's like find familiar. Summon a nature spirit that assumes an animal form as a magic action. You can expend it to use find familiar. Healing Blossom sounds like a pretty good idea. Within 30 feet, yourself, a spectral flowers appear in a movement in a 10-foot radius centered on the point. Roll a number of d4s equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum of 1 dice, and add the dice together.
Flowers, you say?
I think we know Battle Elf might have took some inspiration, or maybe they took inspiration from Battle Elf. Total number.
It reminds me of that. What was it? Second session.
Oh yeah, that's true. Number of hit points is equal to. You decide the number of hit points that are restored to each of those creatures. Okay, that's kind of overpowered, but I kind of like it. Aquatic form. Aquatic form, you learn a new form for wild shape, animal to sea. Now, where's wild shape? This is the worst thing they've done. So, I'm not going to read all of this, but basically...
I've read this, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so what it's done, Meetup.png, is it makes this so you turn into an animal of the land instead of a bear or something. So, an elephant and a cat effectively have the same stat block. Which is really stupid.
That's just not correct.
Yes. It is so dumb. So let's look at it. 10 plus your wisdom modifier. No. That, in my opinion, defeats the point of wild shape. Because you're basically, it limits creativity too. Like, you can turn, like, the thing about druids, like, there wasn't a lot of limits on what you could turn into. Like, and I feel this is limiting it a bit more. I personally really hate it. Like, I think it's super dumb what they're doing. Anyway.
It makes no sense. I like the old one where you could, where if you've seen the animal, then you could turn into it.
Yeah. Circle of the Moon has interesting ones. You can use magic wild shape and elemental wild shape. You can turn into the Avatar or something. It's cool.
They already ripped off the storyline. Well, yeah. I say ripped off. I'm pretty sure it's just inspired.
No. What? Let's be honest. All homebrews rip off, like, or inspired in some way, shape, or form.
Original ideas are hard to come by nowadays.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I can't blame them. Besides, it's fun to write whatever you want.
Okay, this one is cool. Like, you can do it in immeasurable ways. Anyway, there's also features in Druid where you can alter, like, yourself. Like, you can give yourself wings, which is kind of cool. But, like, with aquatic creature, like, I feel like you're supposed to turn into some animals for specific purposes, like a dolphin or something.
To be fair, I don't really remember any single time in a D&D campaign that I've been in that I've actually gone into, like, water.
Yeah, I kind of want an underwater campaign. Like,
it'd be interesting.
That'd be cool. I mean, there was one time in a D&D game where our DM, she made us find this princess. There was kind of no direction other than she I don't know, trained in the water or something. So one of our friends who played a gnome barbarian, he was trying to find
Oh, I think I know
crab
who you're talking
people.
about.
Yes, he was trying to find. If you know Gigrate14 on Twitch, shout out to him. So he was
Yes.
trying to find like these.
T-Rex, I will not be beaten by you at chess again.
Oh yes, he was trying to find crab people, and he ended up finding the girl who became a mermaid, and that's the closest to an underwater moment I've ever had in D&D. I mean,
I actually remember one time when I was DMing, I think about a year ago by now. Our previous DM had just decided we were too much for him.
oh yeah,
Which I mean, kind of fair, but like I get it. It was my first time actually playing, but I thought we played pretty well. But I guess not. So I just decided to take up the mantle for everyone else who was there, and I decided it was a pre-written one shot that I found on a website, and it actually had an underwater push-in, which was quite fun. But it lasted like not even a few minutes, unfortunately. So yeah, I would like some more underwater sections, but it's hard to do that while making it feel like you're not just still above land.
yeah, like I see it. Like I feel a pirate campaign could be cool. Like I would love to see them somehow pull off a fully underwater campaign. That'd be really
I think it'd
fun.
have to be a race that could do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Or you
sea
could-
elves,
Or you could just
Tritons,
there's
Okata.
also magic ends for that.
Oh yeah, true. Like at the beginning of the game, you could get some magic scuba gear or some magic
or just
water wings.
or like a crystal that gives you a bubble head.
Yeah. Anyway, paladins, they're united by their
Anyway,
oath.
paladins.
And the corruption and annihilation, whether sworn before their god's altar in a sacred glade before nature spirits and fey beings, or in a moment of desperation and grief over the death and what they witness. Oh, they get an anime backstory now. Let's go.
Oh wow.
Paladin's Oath is a powerful bond. It's the source of light that turns devout warriors into a blessed champion. A paladin swears to stand against corrupting influences and hunt the dark forces of ruin wherever they lurk. Different paladins focus on various aspects of the three causes, but are all bound by the oaths that grant them the power to do their sacred work. Paladins train to learn skills of combat. So yeah, skills of combat, mastering a variety of weapons and armor. Even so, their magic skills are secondary to the magical power they wield. Power to heal the sick and injured, smite the foes, and to protect helpless and those who fight at their side. Almost by definition, the life of a paladin is an adventuring life. For every paladin lives on the front lines of the cosmic struggle against annihilation. Oh no, wait, hold up, out of curiosity.
Okay, then.
Or
5e and just keep adding things to
yeah, listen, my thing is I don't want to, if I want to play a Dryking or a Sea Elf or a Kalishtar or even like a Harengon, for example, I don't want to have to find D&D 1 homebrew for this, D&D 1 homebrew for that. They keep on saying if it's compatible with 5e, but knowing Wizards of the Coast, they're going to find a way to change them. Like, so far, Trikeen, I'm playing one right now in a current game, they're good the way they are. The only thing I'd change is maybe to get, like, a strength. No, they do get a strength ability score. Something. I don't know. Okay, let's go down. Creating a paladin, D10, proficiencies. A lot of this is pretty much the same. Starting equipment, yeah, all of this is the same. Lay on hand. Oh, do they get spellcasting at level 1 normally, or is this just a D&D 1
I'm not sure. I've never actually played a paladin.
Alright, Divine Strike, subclasses, feats. Just kind of leaving that there. Alright, Oathbreaker. Oh, yeah. I feel like this is up to the DM, honestly. Like what happens, I don't. Yeah, at DM's distinction. Okay, look at their pals. Oath of Devotion. Pretty cool. A lot of this isn't that different. Druid is the most drastic change. Also, these are all the spells we have. Divine spells. Okay, a lot of them are. I'm fine with these.
It's not bad.
Giant insect spells. New spells are improved spells. Find familiar. Let's see what they changed for this, because this is a very common one. Okay. You gain the service of an otherworldly spirit, which manifests as a little animal in an unoccupied space of your choice within range. The creature uses the otherworldly familiar stat block. Oh, they can actually fight now. Interesting. From the spell. But that familiar transforms into the new one but retains its memories, so you don't get a second familiar. Alright, if it gets knocked out. Whenever you cast a spell, choose the familiar's creature type. Celestial, Fey, or Fiend. And also choose environment. Air, land, or water. Okay. The familiar resembles a tiny animal of your choice, such as an owl, cat, or frog, that is native to the chosen environment. Okay.
Interesting.
Both choices, creature and environment, determine certain traits and a stat block. Combat. Familiar is an ally to you and your companions. In combat, shares your initiative count, but takes its turn immediately after yours and obeys your commands. No action is required by you, but the familiar can't attack unless you use your reaction on its turn to command it to do so. If you don't issue any commands, the familiar takes the dodge action and uses its move to avoid danger.
That sounds a lot like a homunculus servant.
It kind of is, honestly. Oh, my just accidentally tripped. Disappearance of familiar. The familiar disappears if it drops to 0 hit points when you dismiss it as a bonus action, or when you die, it disappears. It leaves behind anything it was wearing or carrying. If you use this spell again, you decide whether to summon the familiar that disappeared or a different one. Remote viewing. As a magic action, you can see what the familiar sees and hear what it hears until the end of your next turn. Okay, that's cool. Higher levels. When you cast a spell using a second level spell slot or higher, use the higher level whenever the spell's level appears in the stat block. Alright, these are the stat blocks for the familiar. Okay, not terrible for a familiar. It just gives homunculus. It's giving me Battle Master vibes. Like, that's what I'm thinking of.
Well, for homunculus, I think it's just zeros across the board instead of negative.
Okay, Otherworldly Steed. Find Steed. So you summon a horse. I already like this spell. I want this spell. You're a camel, a direwolf, or an elk. Okay, so you get, utilizing mounts is kind of a cool idea. Alright, that's about, this is just grappled, how they change grappled and help. Yeah, not a lot of big changes. Invisible, oh, here it is. When invisible, you experience the following effects. Concealed, surprise, attacks effect. This is just really a test video. I normally would read the entirety of it, but since it's long, like 19 pages, I'll just stick to the basics and what I feel is the most interesting. I'm not really going for a lot of views or subs on this channel. It's kind of meant to be an archive of what we did on this session of D&D. I might run a one-shot soon by the end of the month. Just to kind of show how we'll run games on this channel. It's nearing 40 minutes, so...
You will definitely see me participating in that one shot.
Oh, yes. So, my next video, expect it maybe to be around tomorrow. I'm going to be, thinking of doing homebrew review or something. I don't know. The next video I want to make is settings that you would like to see in D&D 1. So, basically explaining why Dark Sun will unfortunately never be in another D&D game again. As much as I want it to so bad. Wizards of the Coast would probably ruin it somehow, sadly. Now, me.png, do the outro.
Alright. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching.
Yeah.
It has been a pleasure to be speaking with. Do you want me to call you by your Discord name or your
just
YouTube
call me
name?
Corin. Just call me Corin.
Well,
Y-Force
Corin,
Productions, all of us, yeah. So, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video. And this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow.
And hit that notification bell.
Yeah, also, this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow. Just kidding. No, we're not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Hashtag not fun.
Yeah. And, that's it.
I had fun reading this with you.